The Olsen twins were everywhere you looked in the 90s and early 2000s, but since then, they've seemingly gone completely off the radar. So what really happened to Mary-Kate and Ashley? As it turned out, they moved on to a completely new career that's going pretty well. When you think of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, you surely picture a cute little girl on an iconic family sitcom. The Olsen twins, of course, got their big break on Full House, which premiered on ABC on September 22, 1987. It told the story of the recently widowed Danny Tanner, who raised his 3 young daughters with the help of his best friend and brother-in-law. Though the Olsens were only babies when the series premiered, they completely stole the show. Since they were so young at the time, they didn't have much of a say about whether or not they wanted to do the job. And as it turns out, they landed the role accidentally after their mom sent their photos to a friend, who just so happened to be a casting director. Following Full House, the Olsen twins capitalized on their success by appearing in big screen movies, and even starring in their own film collection. Full House absolutely made the rest of their careers possible, but because they started it when they were babies, they were basically always in front of a camera growing up, which couldn't have been easy.
You got it, dude!
If you grew up in the late 90s or early 2000s, then chances are Mary-Kate and Ashley movies were a significant part of your childhood. Whether they were going to grandma's house, jetting off to Paris, or having a sleepover, their adventures comprised a series of 36 movies that went straight to video, so fans didn't have to waste any time as they popped them right into the VCR. For kids of the era, Mary-Kate and Ashley movies were an absolute blast to watch. As the twins grew up, the themes of their movies became more mature, so an entire generation of children felt like they grew up right alongside Mary-Kate and Ashley. These movies were the crux of their careers, and they built a business empire out of them. In fact, they're even CEOs of their own production business called Dual Star, which was behind all the films.
We were sitting in business meetings at the age of 6.
But it wasn't all fun and games. Between working all the time and having cameras constantly pointed at their faces, the Olsen twins definitely didn't have a typical childhood, and some resentment actually boiled over. In a 2010 interview with Marie Claire, Mary-Kate revealed that she didn't exactly look back on her childhood with fondness. On the contrary, she felt like she and Ashley were, quote, little monkey performers. As she confessed, "I look at old photos of me and I don't feel connected to them at all. I would never wish my upbringing on anyone."
I'm Mary-Kate, and I'm Ashley. Don't adjust your TV set.
Since Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were rich and famous from such a young age, you might assume that they truly had it all. But not everything about their lives was picture perfect. In 1996, their parents split, which meant that the preteen Mary-Kate and Ashley had to deal with family drama while the entire world looked on. According to the controversial Lifetime movie, The Unauthorized Full House Story, the divorce was in part caused by the pressure of the twins' careers, but multiple Full House cast members have denounced that film. So it's unclear exactly what happened. According to Mary-Kate and Ashley's dad Dave, it wasn't as dramatic as it seemed. As he told Entertainment Weekly in 1996, "The reality is that the transition has been very smooth. Everyone sees eye to eye. The girls are fine. Nevertheless, a divorce is never perfectly easy for anyone, let alone 2 young girls who had already amassed a huge following. With all that family drama, it's no wonder that they didn't want to stay in Hollywood forever." As any Mary-Kate and Ashley fan can tell you, as they got older, their movies started to revolve around different locations. There was Passport to Paris, Winning London, and of course the Sydney-based Our Lips Are Sealed. Each successive flick saw the girls head to a new city, and in 2004, that city was the Big Apple. But that ended up being the end of their cinematic travels, as New York Minute was the last movie they ever filmed together. It felt like a good place to stop, as it was a bona fide theatrical release. As Ashley explained on the New Zealand show Holmes, "We had done straight-to-videos for so long, and New York Minute was a bigger movie, and it was a great family film, and it was something we wanted to accomplish before we went off to college. I don't know if it will be the last project Mary-Kate and I do together, but we wanted to make a great family film, and I think that's what we accomplished." All good things must come to an end, though, and the Olsen twins were soon headed off to the next chapter in their lives. It's safe to say that the Olsen twins have amassed quite the fortune. But just how much are they worth? As it turns out, quite a lot. In fact, they were already millionaires when they were still kids. In 2007, they were ranked 11th on Forbes' list of the richest women in entertainment. As the article put it, at age 20, the fraternal twins preside over the tween retail empire Dual Star Entertainment Group. Established in 1993, it sells $1 billion worth of merchandise worldwide a year. And that's not all. Back in 1996, Entertainment Weekly reported that the then 9-year-olds were already worth $10 million. That number has only grown exponentially since then. According to CelebrityNetWorth.com, they're now worth a combined $500 million as of 2021. It's pretty safe to say that the Olsen twins have never struggled for money, and they've certainly worked hard for it.
Either of you young ladies spare some change?
Oh, yeah.
After Mary-Kate and Ashley wrapped filming on New York Minute, they stuck around in the city as they both began attending New York University in 2004. It was obvious that they both wanted to take a step back from the spotlight and just be normal teenagers for a bit. And while they both eventually left NYU after less than 2 years, it remained clear that they were both over being famous. As Mary-Kate explained in a 2008 interview with Elle, "It's weird to be called a celebrity or talk about it. I don't talk about being a celebrity in my business meetings. I don't talk about it with my friends. It's not a part of my life." Being child stars was overwhelming for the Olsen twins, so it's hardly surprising that they wanted to lay low for a while after college. It was also around this time that they gave up acting, although one of them did make some more on-screen appearances for a little while longer. As Ashley admitted to LUK in 2012, "I don't have to be a pretty face. I've done that, but now it's important and liberating to be on the other side of the lens. I don't like to be the center of attention anymore." Mary-Kate continued acting for a few more years after her sister quit, appearing on 8 episodes of Weeds in 2007 and in the movie Beastly in 2011. But she ultimately also called it quits shortly after, and as she told LUK, "It just felt right to move away from the spotlight." After spending their entire childhoods in front of the camera, it made sense that both Mary-Kate and Ashley would want to spend some time behind the lens making different creative decisions. But they didn't get into directing or producing. Instead, they launched a new kind of career with the start of their fashion lines in 2007. Their lines are called The Row and Elizabeth and James, and they've been successful with each ever since.
Yeah, and you're very passionate about what you're doing and how you're doing it and the product itself.
Right. In 2019, the Olsen twins announced that Elizabeth and James, their lower-cost line which is named after their siblings, would be carried at Kohl's department stores. So if you've ever wanted to dress like the Olsen twins or support their fashion endeavors, you can easily do so if you have a Kohl's in your area. Some of the fashions that Mary-Kate and Ashley wear might seem a little less than mainstream, but there's no denying that they both possess a certain sense of grace, and that easily translates into their designs. After leaving the spotlight behind, the Olsen twins were finally able to really grow up and be themselves. Though they might be eternally seen as cute little girls in the public imagination, they've seriously grown up over the years. Mary-Kate in particular has lived quite the romantic life. In 2015, she married her boyfriend of 3 years, French banker Olivier Sarkozy, at an intimate ceremony and reception in New York. The pair had reportedly been planning their nuptials for a while before they tied the knot. Though she was pretty quiet about her relationship, Mary-Kate was obviously pretty smitten with Sarkozy, and getting married proved just how far she had come since her child star days. From crying on a sitcom to marrying a banker, her life has taken some wild turns. As for Ashley's love life, she was still looking for a while, but then in 2017, she was linked to an artist named Louis Eisner, and they've reportedly been happy together ever since. The couple aren't known for flaunting their relationship all over town, which led some people to believe that they were trying to hide it. But as a source told Radar Online in 2019, that was hardly the truth. As the insider put it, "It's not that they are trying to keep their relationship on the down low. Louis just doesn't like the spotlight, even less so than Ashley. Clearly, these two care more about each other than what the public thinks of them, and that's pretty sweet." Moreover, as Radar reported, they were moving in together at the time, and as the source confirmed, they're very much in love. Divorce is an eventual reality for plenty of couples, including Mary-Kate Olsen and Olivier Sarkozy. Their separation began in 2020, and it was a doozy. During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, Sarkozy invited his ex-wife, their children, and his mother to come stay with him and Mary-Kate, all in the same house. As a source told Page 6, "Maybe French people culturally have a different view of marriage, and while Mary-Kate loves his children, it was too much to have his ex-wife living with them during the pandemic. Would you want the ex-wife living with you for an unforeseeable amount of time in the middle of a crisis?" When you put it that way, you can't really blame Mary-Kate for wanting to end things. But it didn't exactly get any easier after she made that decision. Despite her claims that Sarkozy was attempting to kick her out of their New York apartment in the middle of a pandemic, she lost her bid for an emergency divorce petition, although the divorce was eventually finalized in January 2021. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen are fraternal twins, but they might as well be identical considering how close they are to each other. But sometimes siblings, even twins, eventually drift apart as they get older and start their own individual lives, although in the case of the Olsen twins, that drifting apart hasn't really happened. As Ashley explained to the Wall Street Journal magazine in 2018, "It's been 32 years of learning how to communicate. Our relationship is a marriage and a partnership. We have had ups and downs. We do everything together." And as Mary-Kate then chimed in, "We came out of the womb doing that. The twins have always been close, and by the sounds of things, they'll remain close forever, as they'll surely always have each other's backs no matter what the future holds." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.